the chat. Go. Also going to there we go. All right, we're pretty much all set here. All right, so we're still working on some more campaign prep, and we last left off finishing up a map and also a quest, kind of like an introductory to get everyone set up and ready to go. Turn that down on my end a little bit. All right. So requirements. Finish the quest. All right. 210. All right. All right. So, what should I have them do once they head on back? Is the question here. I didn't want to tab. Let's see. What do we think here? Let's see. Why? Like every time it tries to say that I am being pushed to not search. Like he's giving me like a not eligible for recommendation. But the funny thing is like every time that happens, um, like I'm not doing anything wrong, and then it'll give me like a notification like 10-15 minutes later that it's uh what you call it been approved, that it's been appealed properly. Like literally, the content I'm making right now is original content. All right. Anyways, I should probably have that proper alignment and everything. And the hmm. Yep, we're up on camera again. See if that fixes it. No. All right, so I gotta do this. Spectre. There we go. All right, back to it. by Faye. Basically, I'm trying to thicken the plot here, after this opening quest. Just so that, you kind of want them to keep doing more. But while I'm setting all this up, I'm also thinking about an overarching end goal. And it's not just going to be random jobs here and there. Like, how do I want to? Because the starting goal, or the starting thing, is that they've been locked away in the domain of dread of Barovia, uh, Strahd's lands, and it's been a considerable amount of time uh, since they been in there on the outside world, and now that they're out, and the surrounding lands are at a relative point of peace, so there hasn't really been much need for adventurers or uh adventurers or heroes of the like. So I'm trying to think of what to have them, excuse me, what kind of hook to keep them in, and moving on to essentially the story instead of just the introduction part, getting them used to what's going on around them, and then turning it on their head essentially. Let's see. So close to death. Now I just gotta think of the name of this one-time use NPC. I don't want to give them a like a popular Fey name, like the part of the big like court members, because that would be unwise. But fairy names are a little whimsical, so we can go something. Why is meta opening on my screen? I'm gonna restart the live real quick on the TikTok, and we shall see if that fixes things. Because every time they try and say that, um, so I'm just gonna do this real quick and. Go live. Yes. Live. All right, we'll see what happens in 6 minutes and see if they try and screw me over again. I don't know what the heck I'm listening to. All right, back to work. Go with the simple crumpets. Yo, yo, yo. How's it going? All right, it's made. Put a comma here. All right. How's it going, everyone that's joining in or scrolling by? All right, let's focus here. Several of his Yo, how's it going? Welcome in, everybody. Going missing. Jay, how you doing? I'm just working on this new campaign. All right, we're on almost up to 6 minutes. Let's see if they try and restrict my live again. Brandy 71, welcome. Once again. How's it going, everybody? Sorry, I'm going through the appeal process once again because they keep restricting my life. And literally, I'm just here writing up a campaign. All right, let's keep going. Venture. Yeah, Ventures. In that they have seen time. Well, I guess TikTok just doesn't feel like being nice today. I'm gonna try one more time. on TikTok. And it. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try removing the art tag. Let's try this one, I guess. There's sound because I can. Do this real quick. All right, let's see what happens in 6 minutes. All right. Try to. Hello, how's it going? Okay. How's it going, everybody? Welcome in, welcome in. The If it doesn't pass, I guess I'll just keep on going. Hello. Okay. Sorry if I don't talk a whole lot. I'm getting just focused in on hammering this out. But I do have kind of a idea of what I'm going to do to loop everything in, you know? 1 second, I gotta take a big swig of my tea. Is it approved? Nope. Alright, well, I guess we're just gonna go on with it. Alright. So essentially, what's going on overall is I'm trying to get a bunch of this written down because our current campaign, which I do also stream live on Twitch and YouTube uh, on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Pacific. Um, is getting close to the end. So essentially, I'm preparing for what to do next. And I believe I already have. Let's see, how many pages do I got? I have 4 pages. And probably when it's done, it's going to be somewhere close to the hundreds. Uh, I usually write about 60 to 100 pages, depending on how dense the like story is, and then I uh, kind of condense it down, or if I need to extrapolate a little bit more on some lore, uh, then I go from there. Maps I kind of make as needed. I'm thinking I'll probably have to make some sort of world map soon once I have enough going on. Usually I try to get um, enough for at least like 3 to 5 sessions, and then I go from there. And then it all depends on what I need to do next. But usually I try and get as much done and set up as possible. Um, Especially where they're using the same characters from the campaign we're doing right now to the uh, to the new one that's going to be. Oh, I'm wondering, probably start it in the new year, depending on how quick they get through the final map that they're on right now. Um, yeah, it just depends on how long it takes them to get through the final map in the final um, what you call it, final battle, essentially. All right. Mm. And then Tori, I don't know which platform you're watching on, but I don't know. You've gone live on TikTok. What did this happen to you? Where what was I gonna say? The It's like trying to restrict your live to from the search part of TikTok because they think you're not doing original content. I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people probably like, I don't know how many people actually do this, what I'm doing right now, typing and talking and um, trying to interact with people. But yeah, I don't know. Not sure why they're going after little old me. I don't done anything wrong. Because like they tried getting me on the same thing the last time I went live on TikTok. However, I was able to appeal and they approved my appeal, which I thought is strange because I'm literally doing the same appeal process. But yeah, for whatever reason, they decided to say, nope, not today. Perry, the party. Should the party decide to ask about it, the will House of Fairy Folk. First time has heard about any of the disappearances. Thank you. Disappearances. Okay. Okay. Now the disappearances. So. Also. So make sure keep that in mind for when they first get the token. And a yeah, tree. Go in. Ooh. Add a tree. Um, what kind of trees we got here? Let's see. Nothing that absolutely screams a willow tree. You know, I'll go. That's a bonsai. Let's go with that one. Put a couple more trees in here too. That way they kind of stand out from the rest of the save. Stand out from the rest of the whatchamacallit. Yeah, so it stands out a little bit more. swig of tea. All right. So we got the first plot point. We've updated our map a little bit more. And now we can write out this next meeting. Keep thinking. Oh. Towards the bottom of the tree. Um, So the reason why I have this extra thing in here where they have the name of their group, they have yet to actually come up with their own like adventuring group name, and this will kind of like push things along a little bit, see if they can come up with something on the spot, and get the role play and improv flowing. Um, I don't know if I probably should make a city map. Uh, let's see here. I guess we could work on that real quick. So, create a map. Just use fantasy battle map. Square. Okay. Yeah. Trees. I'm going to get this. And we're gonna blow this bitch up. Here. Actually gonna make this as big as I can make it without it cutting off. Here we go. English. Go with food. So like 2.0 core. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, I like that. Pick this one. That's too big. Down a lot. Set these up all around here. Basically, the vision I'm kind of going with here is that the buildings are kind of encircling the outside of the trees or around the edge of the tree. That way I can you know, get it to look a certain way when they enter. I know it's not like super detailed quite yet, but a lot of this is just kind of so that they get the picture and then they fill in the blanks, you know, with their imagination. All right. And then back to the brush. Actually, a lot smaller. I know some people put a lot of effort into their map making. I try to do my best. I'm not like the best, like, artist when it comes to that kind of thing. So I just try and do just enough to get it so that it looks right. So that the players can kind of get the right idea about what they're seeing essentially. Sometimes it's a like more uniform, sometimes it's a little bit more chaotic. But is there anything else? Geo, my man, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. Uh, yeah, man. I know you can only stay here. Well, I'm working on a map, so that's awesome. The only thing that's odd is like I don't know if you have other friends that go on live on TikTok, but they keep trying to restrict my stuff because they say it's unoriginal content. But I'm literally making my own content right now by writing out this campaign and making maps. Yeah, I know it's crazy. But yeah, no, it's odd. I was able to appeal it the other stream, but this one keeps getting denied. So it is what it is. Maybe when I actually stream the campaign itself, it'll not get flagged. I wonder maybe like when people scroll through the when people scroll through like the live section or like the search section and like it asks them like what do you think about this, do you think people are like saying oh it's unoriginal content, which I find odd, but people will be people. um, you do what you can. But yeah, it's good to see. I did get some sleep eventually. um I did sleep until like what was it, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I just snoozed. I wanted to wake back up and do some more stuff, but yeah, I was not having it, I guess. But let's see here. What should I add? I need to make this a little bit more lively. Is this? Thank you. I appreciate that. Um, so basically, what's going on here is I'm making a city, and this is like a city of like a fairy, like a fairy city inside of a tree, and I'm trying to essentially liven it up, make it look more like a city at this point. I'm debating on if I should just. Oh, no, I get you. But yeah, I figured that's what you were going to say. I was saying I'm trying to make a city here that's inside of a tree, and yeah, it's I'm trying to figure out how to make it look appealing to the eye, you know, for when I present it live, and so that the players understand, like, get a good like image in their head, because D&D is a lot about imagination, you know. All the battle map stuff, that's mostly just for positioning. um like D&D is like 90% imagination when it comes to creating a character, imagining the world that you're in, and yeah, I'm just trying to get a good enough image that makes people go wow, you know. And I'm not a an artist, you know, in the sense of drawing and um yeah. um have you just like seen a lot about D&D, or and just not have been able to find people to play, or yeah. um I mean, if you're ever up for it, I can always send you a Discord link, and you can I can see if I could slot you in for the new campaign coming up, because I know we have 4 people right now, um but we can go up to 6 for a manageable party size. um if that's something that you're interested in, I can definitely uh talk to the rest of the group and see if that's something, because I'm all about like spreading the gospel of D&D, you know, getting everyone who wants to try and play the game a chance to play. um and it, even if you haven't played before, 5th edition is really easy to learn, and all you really need is just a laptop that can run Google Chrome and Discord. Ah, okay. What sports do you play? Or play is kind of a derivative word. Basketball and baseball and track as well. That's awesome, man. Um, so you got, I believe baseball and track is a spring sport, and basketball, I don't remember all of them, but I played lacrosse when I was, you know, doing sports and stuff back in the day. Um, at least when I was in high school, and then mostly it was just weight training. I was okay. I was second string. You know, I basically I played defense, so I got the big stick, and uh, it's kind of hard to tell with me sitting down, but I'm a pretty big guy, so um, I was able to keep people away from the goal and knock people down when I need to. Um, but yeah, other than that, I mostly just did weight training. And for the school I went to, we had a 800 and 1,000 pound club. And before I graduated, I made it into the 1,000 pound club, which was pretty cool. In high school, yeah. After high school, I mainly did BMX. Um, and then I got injured, and then I just never, even after I recovered, I just never really had the time because I was also working at the same time to keep on that. I was going like 45 miles an hour at practice, and some kid decided to cut me off right after someone over the intercom said no cutting, and he hit my front tire and launched me off my bike, and I landed on my shoulder to the point where it was basically facing into my chest, and I slid a good like 15 feet and severely dislocated my shoulder, and to the point, yeah, it was rough. The adrenaline kept me going, but then like 30 minutes later, everything started to stiffen up, and I was like, "Yep, I can't ride anymore for the rest of the day." And for like a month, I couldn't lift my arm higher than this because that's how injured I was. It was to the point where like if they tried to re-socket it on its own, like manually, it would have tore like the tendons in my shoulder. But yeah, it was rough. Eh, it happens. Um, but yeah, I'm just lucky I didn't like break anything. Um, but yeah, after that, I did that till I was like in my early to mid 20s. And then yeah, I kind of just slowed down a little bit from there. Why it's saying my live was inactive. I'm literally talking to someone right now. I don't know what TikTok's doing right now, but they're being weird. They're trying to say my live was inactive. But yeah. Trying to think if I should just paint this whole thing. You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. Add a little bit more color. All right. You do your thing. I'll keep painting. Then I'll just add some pathing in as well. All right. Okay. Then let's find some pathing. Cave. Yeah, the simple rocky stone path will do. All right, let's make the brush smaller. That small. Make it smaller. Actually, I don't like this path, actually. Let's pick a different one. Let's go with this one. See how this looks. But why is it so big? Hello, Amazing Shiro. Welcome. I'm glad you joined the live. Thank you for liking the live. Alrighty, Gio. Thanks for stopping in again. It's always fun to hang out and talk to you. Good evening. Maybe if I'm still live, I'll see you later. Thank you. As you can see, I'm making a map. I actually have a question for you. As a fellow creator, what's my inspo? Alrighty, Gio. Before I get to the inspiration question, so I go live on TikTok and it keeps saying that it's restricting my live for unoriginal content, and I'm not doing that. I'm making my own content right now, like literally making content for a D&D campaign. I don't know if it's done that to you, because you know I also follow you on TikTok. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to know if that has happened. And my first live, I appealed it, and my appeal was approved, but this time it's not. But as far as my inspiration goes, I'm gonna do something with the outside when I'm done with the inside. But oh, well, this is the only option that they give me for, like, as far as setting it up. The only option that they give me is a screen capture. So don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. But inspiration is, this is a whole city that is a whole city of fairy folk, and this is later, like a little bit later down the initial line when the party comes into the new age that they're going to be popping into after finishing Curse of Strahd. But yeah. Do you want Fawcett's parents to be there? They can be. Essentially, the party is going to be in here following up on a lead because several fairy folk have been going missing. And they, from a plea of help from another fairy who sadly doesn't make it because they were magically injured, gives them a token that grants them access to the city. What do you want their names? Did you give them names? I don't know if you ever gave them names. I mean, you already kind of know. But you never, I don't, did you ever give Fawcett's parents a name? Maybe oven and stove. Okay, I'll remember that. And they will own a bakery. How about that? Nice. All right. Essentially, what I'm doing is making. I haven't gotten that far yet. You know, maybe that should be something that you decide and I can add that in because it's your backstory. But yeah. If not, I'll come up with something on the fly. I'm good at improvisation. But yeah, essentially, I'm just. Okay, I will. I will. Should they meet the party, they will definitely have that as far as what happened to Fawcett. By the way, since you haven't really heard the synopsis of the adventure yet, would you like to? I mean, if you can commit to Wednesdays at 9 p.m., you can play as Fawcett in this next campaign. So if that's something that you want to do, if you want to bring Fawcett back, then but I mean, you know, this is going to be happening within a session or two of the new campaign. So if you just want to kind of be a one-off, kind of like how I had I'm being a tool. I'm sorry. um but but yeah, if you want it to be more of a one-off kind of like reunion little deal, and then they'll probably come back here Oh, you want me to use you for plot? Okay. Because my ideal goal for getting here initially is probably around session 2, depending on timing and eventually, and if it stretches out that far, then definitely for sure session 3. So because as much as people like the idea of a more sandboxy kind of D&D experience, it's not as entertaining as far as live streaming it goes, and let me tell you why. You don't mind being an NPC? Okay. If you want, you could do all the voices for all the fairy folk that they meet. Use Faust as a plot device. Okay. There will be I'm imagining they will be here at least like 4 or 5 times. At least that's my my goal, at least for the beginning growth of the campaign. But I'll give you the synopsis essentially. We're currently in Curse of Strahd. Once they defeat or fall to Strahd, they will be spat back out essentially right where they left. However, there's been a considerable amount of time that happened in the real world compared to, let's say, the 6 months that they spent in the Domain of Dread. And essentially the surrounding lands have gotten to a point of relative peace. So adventurers, heroes, and things like that, they're not really needed anymore. Like there's not really a whole lot of questing to be had. At least not at on the surface. So they initially meet up with our favorite NPC, Mr. Jorgen Snorf, who initially gives them some work to do, and it'll lead its way to this. But yeah. So that's currently, an actual war hero. Yes, he set off a nuke in the shape of a nose and got blasted into a whole nother realm of existence. But yeah, so that's the idea. And right now I'm just kind of making paths. The only weird thing is I wish the stones got smaller, with the sizing of the brush, like, cuz so they don't initially know that, and they'll learn that over time, but then the whole point of this campaign is that they discover that there's more things going on than what people seem to see. It's not just like the major cities and the like the common folk that are having issues. It's like the Fae in this particular area are having issues, or there's going to be other things that pop up as like a growing darkness essentially rears its head, culminating to a certain point, you know. That's the initial inspiration that I have for this what you call it, for this campaign. That's fine. It's not going to be like a back and forth every time. There will be like other areas that the party will go to for extended amounts of time, and yeah, that'll be kind of how that works. It all depends on how far off they travel. You're in the Discord. Probably next year, yeah. Because the even the final map of Curse of Strahd, which the party currently is in, uh, it's huge. Like there are several floors that it's like a Winchester mystery house that's a castle essentially. Like you can only get to certain floors through certain like paths, and um they're enjoying their time exploring the castle. So yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I've played Curse of Strahd quite a bit. In I pretty much have most of the book memorized at this point. And if you're wondering why I made the passing look this way, it's because it looks like tree roots. Oop, don't want that one. Continue off that path. So my initial design here is that the most of the buildings that surround the outer edge of the tree, um they're gonna go up like along the tree so that it maintains space and doesn't crowd the majority of the map. So it's kind of, think of it like a spiral staircase of buildings going all the way up the tree. And at the very top will be where the uh like the heads of the city will be. um and then of course there will be, let's see if I can find something that I like. Elevator. No elevators. I guess we could use. I don't want that out of here. So let's look through this. See if there's something that I like to put in the middle. Put that right here. Make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Actually, I'm gonna put it like right here, in between. Let's see here. What would kind of look like an elevator that fits the aesthetic? Maybe just a circular. That's a fountain, not just a circle. That's a pillar. Uh, You know, I have an idea. We'll use this just to kind of denote the top of the elevator. A little bit smaller. And boom. There we go. And then we'll kind of fill it path smaller. There we go. That. And then now I just kind of need to fill in a little bit of the thoroughfare here. Maybe change up the style a little bit. I mean, it's basically the same shapes, just in a different texture. Kind of go with that. Not that small. Like that. Yeah, there we go. Kind of have these dotted along the pathways. So switch it to random. Like so. All right. Do that right there. And something like that. And then let's move over here. That, there we go. And this. You maybe over here. All right. We're gonna move that. Just have that in the center right there. All right. Then I'm gonna fix the outside real quick. Where is it? I just saw it. And we are going to put the green for the outside. A lot bigger. There we go. Well, yeah, no, this is probably going to be, this campaign's probably going to be like over 100 pages of just writing in maybe about 40 to 50 maps minimum. So yeah, got a lot of writing and stuff to do. There we go. And then let's do some lights. Okay, no worries. You make your food. What are you making? Is it substantial? Just gonna dot these around the path here. All right. Okay. Lights. Maybe under effects. Let's see. Nah, I guess I'll just keep it as is. All right. Let's see. Man, I'm just wondering, is there anything else I need to add to this map? I mean, this looks pretty good. It's just the pathing tool. Maybe I should add some water features. Like maybe right here. Let's bring that down a lot. Need to add. Then I'll put a bridge. Actually, redo that. Bring the roughness down a little bit. And then now some water. I like this water. Uh, there we go. And let's do bridge. Oh, that's big. Let's go. I don't want it to be ginormous. Let's see. Should my headphones just freaking break? They probably just died. There we go. Excuse me. Plug in my headphones. They didn't die. Just unplug. This real quick and then plug it back in. Alright. Guess we can do another one over here. Back to our brush. I think I have it in this range. Yeah. See stone. Let's bring that down a lot. And there we go. All right. Nice little water feature there. Maybe a fountain. Let's see. Welcome back. Is there a little fountain thing that I have here? No. You know, I've had a lot of Taco Bell and KFC. I'd probably go with Popeyes because I haven't had that in a while. Yeah, Popeyes would be the choice for me. I'm assuming that's what you're going to be eating. You gotta eat more than once a day, Goofy. And cucumbers and crackers don't count. It's more of a snack. Is there a way to clip with lives on TikTok? If anything, I'll clip it when I go back over the VOD and I'll post it. Let's see, where was that fountain I saw earlier? let's do this. Which fountain do you like? Can you see all of them? Do I need to move the window? I need to kind of see how it looks. Okay, yeah, you can see him. I'm partial to the fancy fountain, but I also like the spiral one. I think I'm gonna go with the spiral. Put that right. Ah, damn. I guess Taco Bell it is. Mine is it changes a little bit, but I usually get at least 2 cheesy bean and rice burritos. And then I get either what's something that's newer to the menu, like that rolled quesadilla thing that they have. That's at least I don't know if you guys have it out there, but I have it here. And then I'm kind of fat, so I eat a lot. You know, I get the chicken flatbread melt thing, like 1 or 2 of those, and then I get a. Do they have the Cinnabon things out at your Taco Bell? Because sometimes I get those too, and I usually share them with like coworkers and stuff. And then like usually a large drink of my choosing. Usually. Has Johnny tried the? You should get the if you like those, get the Cinnabon things. If you guys can get them, you can you and Johnny can split them because you can get a 12-pack of them, and then just split it like 6 each. Has Johnny tried the new rolled quesadilla? I think it comes with steak by default. He's about to try the new thing. I liked it. It's a little messy. Long ass burrito. Well, what do you think so far of the map of the city? Think there's anything else I should add for a little bit more, you know, flavor or to make it look? He's excited to try it. Good. That's pretty good. More trees. Okay. Let's see. Tweeze. Maybe some a little bit more pop. Let's go with these maple trees. Yes, trees inside of a tree. That one's it's a little big. Little tiny tree right there. Tree right there. I feel like Don Cheadle on SNL. Have you ever seen that where he's playing Captain Planet and he turns everyone into fucking trees? And that's literally the tagline of it. There's some. It's a little one. Put a bunch of these little ones. Right here. I like the little ones over here. A couple of the bigger ones further out. There we go. All right. How's that look? That give it a bit more color. Nice. You want to live there? You want to live in a tree that has more trees inside of it? Right there. There we go. Better tell Johnny that he's going to be moving into a giant tree. Well, it's not really a giant tree. It's a normal sized tree. But everyone that lives there is small. So the party is going to have to be small to get into the tree. Mm-mm. But yeah, it's a pretty good sized map. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to write. Okay, so I gotta grab my dinner real quick. I am eating homemade ravioli with homemade sauce and some bread. Yeah. But I think I will probably end the lives here for now. And then I am going to eat and then probably just relax for the rest of the evening. Yeah. But thank you for stopping by. And I'll probably be live on Wednesday and on all the other stuff, you know. And I will go over the thank you. And I'll go over the live later and clip what you wanted to clip. Well, alrighty. I will see you later. Goodbye. Thank you. You too. Enjoy the Taco Bell. It's locked. Yes. I'm going to be ending the other streams too. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday.